spirituality. Like I knew I had all these like small t truths because I read every book on religion. I read every book on Buddhism and Hinduism and ancient tantric yoga and astro projection and quantum spirituality. And I knew all these like mechanics of how the spirit realm works. And I understood so much. I had so much wisdom. I was studying like different mystery traditions within Islam and within Judaism, you know, the Kabbalah. I knew all these mysteries and I had all these like little t truths because the devil will always put like 80% truth, 20% lie just to like pull you in. So I knew I had all this like small t truth and I started demanding the big T truth. I was like, I want the one that is behind everything else. Show me the truth. And I screamed this at the sky every day for like a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And I would just sit out every morning and weep and cry out to God, show me the truth. And one day I opened my eyes and Jesus Christ was hovering in front of me, just floating in the sky in front of me in all his glory with this golden light pouring out from him, just this perfect love emanating from him. And all of creation was like responding to him. The air around him was testifying that he's God. And I looked at him and my mouth opened by itself and I said, you are Jesus Christ. So I didn't know that.
Wow.
I didn't know who Jesus Christ was, but my tongue confessed him as
crazy.
As God, just like the scriptures say, every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And when I saw him, I knew he was God. I knew he was my creator. I knew he was God of all creation. And I just trembled before him and he held out his arms. And as he moved, like all of creation would like ripple around him, like as if he was like when you move underwater and everything just ripples. It's like even the air around him, his clothing, the clouds, the trees, the grass is just like singing his glory, just testifying that this is the God who made them and everything else that made me. And he lifts his hands up to his side and he looks at me and he says, I love you, Nayla. And his voice rippled from his mouth like an atomic bomb and it just made all of creation shake. Like it went boom, boom. It just went out to the edges of the universe. Everything shook. And it was so strange because it shook me, but I could feel it shake the entire universe, like beyond me. He shook everything. It was like an earthquake, like a mighty wind, like the ocean, like a lion's roar. His voice is so powerful, but also it's the most gentle, loving, like safe, beautiful voice that you've ever heard, like more comforting than your own mother's voice, like just like home. So when he said that, I felt all of this, but I was so wounded, so rejected. I had a massive spirit of rejection. I'd been rejected my whole life. I'd been rejected by everyone I'd ever wanted to love had rejected me. And I didn't know what love was. I didn't know how to receive that. So when he said that, I actually argued with him. My reaction was to say, well, you have to love me because you're God and you love everyone.
Wow.
So in that, he revealed my heart to me. You know, we see in scripture whenever Jesus will come and minister to someone, he will ask them questions and make statements to reveal their own heart to them. And I believe that he said, I love you, Nayla, knowing that I would say, well, you know, I'm not special. You love everyone. That's not really for me. To reveal my heart to me. And so I said, you know, you love everyone. It's not about me. And he responded by saying, you don't understand. And when he said, you don't understand, like I can't describe with words what it's like to be audibly hearing God speak. Like each word is like an earthquake. So it's like, you don't understand. It just broke something in my mind that thought I could understand. It's like it opened my eyes to the fact that I literally don't know anything. Doesn't matter how smart I think I am, how many books I've read, how spiritual I think I am. I don't know anything because I don't know him, right? I didn't know his love, so I couldn't know anything. I was so self-deceived, thinking I had so much self-acquired wisdom, but I actually realized in that moment that I know nothing. I don't know who God is. I don't know who I am, and I don't know why I'm here. And so from that emptiness, he came to my right hand side and stood over me and spoke into my spirit every single reason that he loves me. And I'm sitting there receiving this, hearing him speak into my being. I love you because you're Nayla. That's what he said. He said, I love you because you're Nayla. You're the only Nayla in the universe, and I created you.
Wow.
He said, I love you because I knit you together in your mother's womb. Because if I don't have you, there's no other Nayla to replace you with. You are the only one I've made as Nayla. And I adore you because you're mine. You belong to me. And so as I'm having this revelation that this is not only my creator, this is my father. Like,
Wow.
this is so personal. This is my father.
So powerful.
It just broke my heart open, and I felt unconditional love in my heart for the first time in my life. Like, Jesus Christ truly was my first love.
Wow.
And I remember when he was saying this to me, feeling this physical sensation of love in my chest, in my heart, and thinking to myself, wow, this is what love feels like. I had never felt it before. And it was just so overwhelming and so healing. It just changed something in me in that moment. And then I opened my eyes again, and he's sitting in front of me, and he holds up his right hand really slow. And then he's sitting like this opposite me. And inside of his right hand, there's a flame just burning. And I remember looking at that thinking, how is it not burning your hand? And I was like a child. I was just so in awe of this flame. I kept looking at it, and he brought it towards me, and then he put it into my heart. The flame went into my heart, and his hand was on my chest, and I felt the weight of his hand on my chest. And that's when I knew that he was actually there with me, because I felt a physical hand touch me. And I just bawled. I just cried. I cried out it was like I cried a tear for every trauma, every hurt,
Wow.
every pain I'd ever felt my whole life since I was in the womb. Like, every wicked thing that had happened to me, and every like unexpressed hurt that I'd been carrying, it just all came out. And I cried and cried and cried for what felt like hours. And when I opened my eyes, he was gone.
Wow.
So that was my first encounter with the living God.
That is such a crazy, that is one of the craziest encounters I've ever heard in my life.